People usually laugh when I tell them where I work. They think I'm joking, like it's some kind of dark humor or an attention-seeking story meant to scare people late at night. I don't blame them. If I were hearing it for the first time, I'd laugh too. Because according to every official record, every government database, every newspaper archive you can find online, the hospital I work in doesn't exist anymore. It was declared permanently closed in 1998 after what they called a structural failure. That phrase sounds clean and technical, like a cracked beam or a weak foundation, but it doesn't explain the screams, the lawsuits that vanished, or the sudden silence in the media after a few weeks. It doesn't say that people died. A lot of people. And yet, every single night at exactly 11 p.m., I pull up to that abandoned building, park under a flickering streetlight, and watch the front doors slowly open on their own, like they've been waiting for me. The fog always hangs low around the ground, thick and cold, wrapping around the dead trees and broken windows. Moonlight stretches long shadows across the cracked pavement, and the hospital looms there, quiet, watching. When I step inside, the doors close behind me with a soft, final sound. The lights turn on one by one, buzzing weakly overhead, and the hospital wakes up. I didn't take this job because I wanted to. I took it because I was desperate. Rent was overdue, my phone was about to be cut off, and no one else was hiring. When I saw the ad, it felt unreal. No experience required, night shift only, high pay, cash every Friday, no interview questions about my past, no background check, no paperwork beyond a single signature. All I had to do, according to the ad, was sit at the nurse's station and monitor activity. That was it. No patients, no surgeries, no emergencies. Just sit, watch, and stay awake until morning. The man who hired me never gave his name. He was already seated at an old wooden desk when I arrived, like he'd been there all day. The room smelled like dust and antiseptic. He slid a thin folder across the desk toward me. Inside were yellowed papers, edges curled with age. He looked at me and said, "Read the rules. Follow them exactly, and don't ask questions." His voice was calm, but there was something final about it, like a warning disguised as advice. There were only 3 rules written inside the folder. Never answer room 317. If you hear children laughing, leave the floor immediately. At 3:17 a.m., hide under the desk until the bells stop ringing. I remember laughing quietly to myself. Hospitals always have creepy rules, right? I thought it was just part of the atmosphere, some attempt to scare new hires. I signed the paper. That was my first mistake. The building stands at the edge of the city, hidden behind a rusted fence and dead trees that haven't grown leaves in years. From the outside, it looks completely abandoned. Broken windows gape like empty eyes. Paint peels from the walls in long, curling strips. One wing of the building has collapsed entirely, sealed off with concrete and warning signs that no one reads anymore. But the moment I step inside, it feels alive. Not welcoming, not warm. Just aware. The lights flicker on automatically as I walk deeper inside. The air smells like disinfectant mixed with something metallic, like old blood that never fully washed away. The intercom crackles softly from time to time, even when no one is speaking. Everything inside looks exactly like it did in the late 90s. Old monitors hum quietly. Wheelchairs are lined against the walls, perfectly spaced, casting long shadows across the tile floor. Patient charts hang from clipboards, pages yellowed and brittle, names written in faded ink. And yet, everything works. The clocks tick. The monitors light up. The call buttons respond. It works too well, like the building never accepted that it was supposed to die. My first night was quiet, almost disappointingly normal. I sat at the nurse's station, scrolling through my phone, sipping coffee that had gone cold long before midnight. The fluorescent light above me buzzed softly, filling the silence with a constant, irritating hum. I started to relax. I told myself the rules were just there to mess with me, to test whether I'd take the job seriously. At 1:42 a.m., I heard footsteps, slow, careful, bare feet slapping gently against the tile. The sound echoed down the empty hallway, steady and deliberate. I stood up from my chair, my heart beating a little faster. "Hello?" I called out, my voice sounding too loud in the silence. The footsteps stopped immediately. The air felt heavier, like the building was holding its breath. Then the intercom clicked on. Static hissed through the speaker, loud and sharp. And then a voice whispered, so close it felt like it was right next to my ear, "You're not supposed to talk to us." The intercom shut off. My phone screen went black in my hand, completely dead. The lights around me dimmed, casting deep shadows across the station. And somewhere down the hallway, a call button lit up, glowing red in the darkness. Room 317. I remembered the rule as soon as I saw the number. Never answer room 317. The button blinked slowly, deliberately, once, twice, 3 times. Each blink felt like a heartbeat. Then the hallway lights outside that room turned on by themselves, one after another, leading straight to the door. I didn't move. I couldn't. I just sat there, staring down the corridor, waiting for something to step out of the darkness. After 5 long minutes, the call button stopped blinking. The hallway lights went dark again. The hospital fell silent, like nothing had happened. That was the moment I realized this job wasn't a joke. It happened on my 3rd night. I was halfway through my shift, trying to distract myself by counting the ceiling tiles, when I heard it, soft giggling. Faint at first, almost easy to dismiss. Then louder, clearer, children laughing. The sound echoed through the pediatric wing. My blood ran cold. The pediatric wing had been sealed off after a fire in 1998. I'd seen the blackened walls and melted signs. No one ever goes there. I grabbed my jacket and walked quickly toward the stairs, trying not to panic. The laughter followed me. It bounced off the walls, playful and wrong, getting closer with every step. I heard tiny footsteps running behind me, fast and uneven. I didn't turn around. I couldn't. I ran down one floor and didn't stop until the stairwell doors slammed shut behind me. The laughter stopped instantly, cut off like a switch had been flipped. Later, when I checked the security cameras, the hallway behind me was empty. Completely empty. Except for small, wet footprints on the floor. They led directly to the nurses' station, stopping right where I usually sit. Every night after that, things got worse. Without fail, the temperature drops at exactly 3:15 a.m. My breath becomes visible in the air. The lights flicker, casting strobe-like shadows on the walls. The monitors begin to beep, even though nothing is connected to them. And at exactly 3:17 a.m., the bells ring. Not alarm bells, call bells, every room, every floor, all at the same time. The sound is unbearable, like screaming metal tearing through the building. I crawl under the desk, pressing myself against the cold floor, covering my ears and squeezing my eyes shut. Sometimes I hear footsteps circling the desk slowly, like something is searching for me. Sometimes I hear breathing, low and wet, right above my head. Once I felt fingers brush lightly against my hair, gentle and curious. I never move. Because the one night I almost did, when the bells seemed to fade early, something whispered my name in my mother's voice, soft and familiar, telling me it was safe to come out. One night, the security cameras showed something they never had before. A man standing in the hallway, perfectly still. He was wearing a hospital gown, thin fabric hanging loosely from his frame. The camera feed glitched, and a patient chart popped up automatically on the monitor in front of me. Name, unknown. Status, deceased. Time of death, 3:17 a.m. Cause, improper discharge. The man slowly lifted his head and looked straight into the camera. He smiled. The lights in the hallway shattered all at once, plunging everything into darkness. And suddenly, he was standing right in front of me. I couldn't breathe. His face was wrong. The skin was stretched too tight, pulled thin over sharp bones. His eyes were cloudy, unfocused,